Or in the camera.
You looking for your phone?
It should be down
Did you leave
there.
it
I was
downstairs?
showing you the-
That wasn't mine.
Oh.
Maybe she took mine.
Okay, I am not, we on 23? I'm not gonna be focusing on, if it's an atom or a proton or a neutron, I'm not focusing on that. And all of this was the 23 was more so an introduction to just understanding Estim. So, I wouldn't really see that I'm gonna hit that and talk about, metabolism, bacteria, not yet, not yet. But let's go to the next page, as far as trying to plan for the study for the quiz. All right, so 24, if you're trying to understand parameters and what to choose, a little picture like this would be good to draw maybe on the back of a quiz or in the corner of a quiz so that you can figure out, do I need a high pulse width or do I need a low pulse width in order to hit certain nerves? So just knowing the strength duration curve will help you to figure out that, okay? I'm not going to talk about those abbreviations per se, what is MENS and what is TENS and what is IONTO and all. We're not going to focus on that. But the strength duration curve I would really hold on to help you to answer certain questions. All right. Now, let's look at the 25. All right, so choosing the right machine and the right parameters is going to give us certain things. So what we talked about today is huge as far as knowing what we're going to get as an outcome. So tingling, if I'm looking at tingling to get sensory, I can treat almost all of these DXs here. Acute pain, edema, muscle spasm in the initial stages, wound healing, and peripheral nerve disorders, pretty much all with the same parameters. So, if I'm trying to treat someone with these parameters off on the left, on 25 at the top, if I'm trying to get that, what I say? I said intensity, rate, width, and mode. All right, so I'm trying to treat acute pain. We'll say acute edema with a lot of pain, if you want to look at it that way. Muscle spasm with a lot of pain, we'll say it that way. Wound healing and peripheral nerve disorders. Okay. What would be the intensity that I would want for acute pain? Sensory. And then the pulse rate.
50. 50.
Pulse rate for acute pain. Now remember, I want tingling.
100.
100. I want a buzz. And then the pulse width. Do I want a high pulse width because I want movement, or do I want a low pulse width?
So like 80?
50. Now, if I put it this way, if I set the machine on a pulse width, 25. If I set the machine on a pulse rate of 50 and a pulse width of a pulse rate of 100 and a pulse width of 50, I'm going to get tingling. If I set it on a pulse rate of 100 and a pulse width of 200, but I'm also going to get what though? Twitch, motion, movement. All right, now I don't want that with acute pain. So with acute pain, I want a pulse rate of 100 and I want a pulse width of 50. So the lowest pulse width that we'll probably use is 50. The highest pulse width that we'll probably use is 200, 250, maybe even 300. So if I say that I want acute pain protocol, I want a low pulse width and a high pulse rate to get tingling. So low pulse width, no movement, high pulse rate, buzz, tingling. right? What mode do I want?
Reciprocal.
Reciprocate for acute pain. Y'all agree?
No. Continuous.
Continuous. So for acute pain, looking at 25 on the left, edema, we'll say that's acute edema, or the person has an 8 out of 10 pain, a muscle spasm, let's say in the upper traps, and it's a lot of pain, wound healing, peripheral nerve disorders. That's the parameters that we want. All right. If we get a twitch, if we want twitch, all right, let's go with twitch. What should the intensity be?
Motor.
Motor, good. Pulse rate, if we want a twitch. Ah. All right, let me go back. Pulse width, if we want a twitch. 200, good. All right, now, if I'm going to do a twitch, what is a twitch? So what's the pulse rate?
50.
2 to 4 pulses per second. Twitch. If I do this a whole lot, that's 50. If I do it a whole lot, it's 100. So the twitch would take care of chronic pain, 50, which is 2 to 4 pulses per second. 50 would take care of motor movement with no fatigue. 100 would take care of motor movement with fatigue. So the pulses per second is going to control what they feel. So if I have 200 pulse width, we know that's going to move it. If I'm getting a twitch, it has to be low pulse rate. That's a twitch. That's a twitch, pulse rate. If I keep doing this, now I'm getting, because I'm in the second column, I'm in motor, because I turned it up to 50. If I turn it up to 100, it's still moving, but the muscle gonna get tired fast. Okay. All right, so muscle spasm, muscle weakness, re-education, pretty much some of the same parameters. However, let's go with muscle spasm motor protocol versus muscle weakness or re-education motor protocol. What will be the intensity for muscle spasm and muscle weakness? Motor. What would be the pulse width for muscle spasm and muscle weakness? 200 for both. What would be the pulse rate for muscle spasm? 100. What would be the pulse rate for weakness? 50. I don't want to fatigue it. What will be the mode for weakness?
Sensory.
Uh-oh.
Motor.
Oh, Jesus, hallelujah. Hallelujah, Jesus. Hallelujah, Jesus.
The mode for
Motor will be
weakness.
continuous.
Hallelujah,
Surge,
Jesus.
surge,
Okay.
surge.
Continuous, surge, or reciprocate. That depends on the muscle. Okay? But so you should have said at least one of these. But saying something else, y'all wasn't even in the boat.
What is that? Continuous, surge, and reciprocal.
Oh.
That's the mode.
All right, so if I'm doing, let's do a comparison. Okay, bicep spasm.
Vivola is not coming.
Spasm.
Are you sitting here, Tutu?
Bicep spasm versus tricep weakness.
I asked you, you did not answer.
Intensity. Bicep spasm.
Fella, fix my clothes for back.
Motor.
Let me fix my clothes for
Intensity.
back.
Tricep weakness.
Motor.
Motor. Pulse rate. No, I'm gonna switch it. Pulse width. Bicep spasm. 250. Pulse width. Tricep weakness. 250. Or 200. Fine. Pulse rate. So far they're the same?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Pulse rate for bicep spasm. 100. Tricep weakness. 50. Uh-oh.
Why is that happening?
Okay, because we want 100 to fatigue the muscle. If we do a low pulse rate, we won't fatigue and make the muscle tired. Mode. Spasm, bicep.
Bicep.
No, reciprocal.
Reciprocal.
No, continue.
No.
To beat it up.
Continuous beating.
Tricep weakness mode.
Reciprocal. Or surge. Surge. One.
Tricep.
One.
Weak.
So what's the difference in these two? Pulse rate
And the mode.
and the mode makes the difference. That's the difference. Okay. Okay, machine overview. Monophase.